I had to do it.
Bryce.
All right, I'm bringing in Bryce right now.
Bryce?
Bryce, are you there?
I am here.
There's Bryce.
Bryce, my boy.
What is up, Ethan, Lyle? Big fan of both of y'all.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm a big fan of you, Bryce.
Thank
Bryce,
you
what's
so
going on? Let's get right into it.
Let's
Bryce.
get right into it. I've been in a relationship. It's going to be 6 years in March, and we have intercourse, like a lot of
Nice.
relationships. Nice,
Bro,
and
sick.
Fire.
That's epic.
it's good.
That's epic, bro.
And here's the thing, though. She is like she's perfect. She is. I took her virginity. She was a very timid girl, and she's like the most perfect person ever. But I feel like she does not enjoy intercourse in the way that I do. I feel like she more so does it because I want it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It does, yeah, it does.
Yeah, and so yeah.
Have you guys like had that conversation? Like, have you told her that that's how your read of the situation?
Yes, I
How's
tell
she
her
respond?
that, and then she denies it, of course. And maybe it's just my insecurities, like thinking that I'm not doing a good enough job or something. But I don't know. I just have always felt like it's more so her doing it for me than doing it for herself. And I'm always the one that takes initiative and whatnot.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, if looking back, did she enjoy it more in the beginning of your relationship, or has it always been the same note?
Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you this. We were young when we first met. Like, we were like 19. And when we had sex, it was like all the time in the car, just, college student stuff. And she never really finished back then.
She's never. She's a woman that cannot. Or as
Well,
far
no,
as you know,
she didn't for like the first year. We just never focused on it. It was more so about time, like, let's get it done.
Let me finish.
No. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
That means you're coming. That means it's
Right.
about when you come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So have you like talked to her about like, hey, listen, what could I do to make this experience more enjoyable for you?
Yes, we've talked about that, and
What
I
did she
guess
say?
maybe I don't understand her perspective, but she has told me that it is more so about like emotional intimacy when it comes to that, and it's difficult for me because as a guy, it's like it's really just I need to rub it out. You know what I'm saying?
There's an interesting thing happening here.
Yeah.
So the first year you guys were having sex all the time.
Yeah.
But then you're talking about the second year she started to experience an orgasm, or tell me kind of.
Yeah, we started living together, and so it was more so like we had more time, and we could really talk about those things. You get more comfortable in the relationship and whatnot. But even so, there have been times where like I feel like she maybe even faked it, just and she admitted
Okay.
it.
Was there ever
Go
a
ahead, go ahead.
point in your relationship where you feel she was sexually gratified or sexually satisfied?
Yes, very sparingly, if you get
So
that.
this has been something you've been insecure about for a long time.
Oh yeah, almost like the whole relationship. Yeah.
And like when you try to bring it up, she completely says that she doesn't. There's nothing wrong, and like there's no inkling of a thing that she would like you to do, or and I'm more curious about like her response when you bring this up to her. What does she say?
Yeah, it's just always, oh, I do enjoy it, even if that's the thing. I have always associated finishing with enjoying it.
She
And
said, wait, she said, even if what?
even if she doesn't finish, she enjoys doing it and letting me finish.
Have you gone in like having sex with her being like, I'm gonna try my best.
This one's for you,
for
babe.
her. Have you
Yeah.
gone into it
Oh,
like
yeah.
taking the
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, how does
Yeah.
that go?
I think it goes well, but again, that insecurity is still there, like while I'm doing it.
That she doesn't really want to be there.
Right. Exactly.
And what sexual act makes her finish? Because some women's
talk to me,
bodies
baby.
are very different. Some women can finish through, normal intercourse penetration. A lot
Right.
of women can only finish through like direct stimulation, hand movements, mouth movement. You know what I'm saying without getting too graphic.
Of course, of course.
What's that?
Yeah, it's
You want a
what
soda?
it really
Yeah,
is.
sure.
Lots of oral, I guess, beforehand, and
Okay.
then
All right,
switching
you're
up
putting in the work.
positions. Yeah, and
Yeah.
stimulating with my hands on other parts while I'm penetrating, and
And
like
okay.
trying
And
not to calm myself.
and do you have a problem with premature ejaculating?
It's not premature, but we're so comfortable with each other
Mm-hmm.
that my body, because when we first started, doing it, I feel like I was so nervous that I wasn't finishing, and now we are so comfortable together
Let,
that I can, on a flip of a dime, just let her rip.
can I ask you this? So you talked to her and she was like, "Oh, for
It's
me,
not
it's about."
farting, Bryce.
You said she said that for her it's about the emotional aspect
Right.
of it, right?
Yeah.
Have you talked to her about like, okay, how can I best serve that?
Candles,
Um, we've talked a little bit about it. I guess
oils.
that's a place where I can improve, is talking more about what that means to her. She
Yeah.
literally sometime has told me that, like, she enjoys talking and being emotional, like speaking to each other during the intercourse. Like, that
Okay.
helps. But that's kind of, I don't know, it's weird for me, I guess.
I have an observation to make.
Please.
What's
You
up?
strike me as a guy who you've described coming as letting it rip. You've said that you can
Right.
come in 3 seconds. You even described a whole first year of having sex with her where the focus was on time, or as I
Right.
interpret that, as you busting and then the interaction being over.
Right.
What I'm seeing you as a guy who's very mechanical. He wants to get in and get it done. I'm seeing your girlfriend as somebody who's very emotional with sex, and this is not uncommon. Some women and men, it really, it is a very emotional experience for them, and so I think you need to be extraordinarily mindful of what sex means to her. It means like hanging out a little bit beforehand, having some snuggling, lots of kissing, talking about stuff like a buildup. I'm not talking about, you can't be getting in there and then, letting it rip and then complaining she didn't enjoy the sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. No, yeah.
Because she's not,
I
she
think
doesn't
you're
strike me as someone who's real freaky, who's trying to get all weird in the bedroom. It sounds to me like she wants to have an emotional connection, and that to her is the most important thing about sex.
I think you're absolutely right. I think I need to reevaluate my own relationship to, quote, letting it rip.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta let it rip emotionally.
Ooh,
You gotta
that's
come beautiful words out of your mouth into her ear vagina.
Found out for that one.
That's beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Is there anything else we can help with?
Well, I would also recommend couples therapy to you guys
I was
because
thinking that too.
it sounds like you guys are in love. It sounds like you adore her, and it sounds like she's been with you for 6 years, and you're not even sexually gratifying her, so she got to like you too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I recommend go to counseling because that's a great place to work out these kind of deep emotional issues. Because you know what, in a case of someone like that, without knowing anything about your girlfriend, who I'm sure is lovely, there could be some kind of sexual trauma in her past. I don't know if that's presumptuous, but there could be something that makes her turn off during like these quick, or it's just turned off a sexual part of her brain. And I don't know, but I'm saying that, sex is I think we're discovering more that sex is such a personal and powerful and emotional thing, and everybody is so different in how they experience sexual gratification or excitement that we can no longer just assume that people are going to have the same expectations as us in a sexual encounter. So different.
But look, I mean, even the fact that you're calling us right now and that you have, because a lot of people will say this, like they'll call in and talk about this, and I'll be like, "Did you talk to them about it?" And they'll be like, "No, I haven't yet."
Yeah.
So even the fact that you
Right.
did that, like, just I mean, you're trying, which is a lot.
Mhm.
So
I agree. But also, having that level of insecurity is also not good in a relationship. You want to be fully there. You want to be fully present with her. And so when she tells you, I'm fine, you want to be able to believe her, right? And so, you guys, I do think it's important to get through this. And I do think you guys can get through this. But I think you got to probably go into the acts more about like, what does she do? Make it all about her, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to feel that she's satisfied. You don't want to feel insecure. Follow her lead, follow her cues. Don't listen to your cock. You know what I mean? Just follow her. Just listen to her body, what she's saying, what she seems to like, and maybe
Let her have her way.
just let her have her way.
where's that from?
That's Jordan Peterson. Play the whole thing for me, Zach.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is from Jordan Peterson's audio. Book. Go ahead.
Stand by, stand by, stand by.
Queuing it up. Stand by.
Saw my maternal grandmother sitting by the
I
bay.
saw my maternal grandmother sitting by the bank of a swimming pool, which was also a river. Her genital region was exposed dimly. It had the appearance of a thick mat of hair. She was stroking herself absent-mindedly. She walked over to me with a handful of pubic hair compacted into something resembling a large artist's paintbrush. She pushed this at my face. I raised my arm several times to deflect her hand. Finally, unwilling to hurt her or interfere with her any further, I let her have her way. She stroked my face with the brush gently and said, like a child,
That's really dark.
It's something.
It sounds like something happened to him.
Well, yeah, potentially. I mean, he is really dysfunctional, so that definitely rings true to me.
Well, caller, how was that helpful?
Yeah, good question.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, good. Is there anything else that you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Thank you for talking to me about this.
I have
and
more
thank you for
questions.
giving me-
Oh, you have
Yeah,
more questions?
Do you-
It's your show. I want to let you do your thing.
No, I listen. We're on the same wavelength here, but
Okay.
things. Have you guys ever done like explore different kinds of sexual? I don't want to, maybe not fantasies, but like I don't know. Have you guys ever? You guys just go in there and do it missionary? Like what's the extent of your guys' exploration?
Fantasies.
We've tried some stuff in the past, like role play or whatnot, but I feel like it always just comes back to as long as we're trying different positions and I don't know, trying to keep it interesting, it works.
Would you
for
say
the most-
when
yeah.
you say role play, what kind of role play are we talking about?
I'd like to know that.
Yeah, we can get
Are
into it.
are costumes involved?
Well, here's the thing: we're both theater kids. Shout out Olivia.
Okay, perfect.
So we, I mean, there was a time where, like, I don't know, maybe she pretended she was a stripper and I was the client.
Oh my
and-
God, bro!
Have you? Okay, I am. Who's?
I guarantee that's not her.
I was about
fantasy,
who
brother.
has she ever suggested a role play, or is it typically?
That was literally like year 2 of the relationship.
Bro,
We
you
have
are.
not-
This woman is a saint, bro.
She
You got to
she
figure
is.
it out.
Has she ever suggested a role play, or is it all from your imagination?
It's my dark twisted fantasy, I guess.
Hey, what was her stripper name?
Cherry. I don't know. No, I'm just
Bro,
making-
you are depraved.
My beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy.
Has she ever proposed a role play?
No, of course not, Ethan.
Would you ask her to? And she's like, I don't know.
No. It is like had such a weird relationship to sex, meeting at 19 years old that we were kind of nervous to like bring
Well,
any
now
of that
you've been
stuff
together
up.
for 6 years, so.
Yeah. I guess we could reopen the conversation.
Well, but you never asked her if she wanted to do one.
I think you know what she might like as a role play is you role play that you're on your first date and you don't know anything about her.
Oh,
I do know. I
romantic.
do know
Right,
something.
and so now,
She likes-
this is what she just wants. She's like, I want.
Yeah.
You get the chance to. You ask her questions. What do you do for work? What's your life like? I
Different
think that could be
perspectives.
fun.
Also, you could
Wow,
role play
different
as a guy who's taking her out on a date
Yeah.
to like a nice romantic dinner. And
Mm.
then you come home, you put on some music. This is role playing, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right,
then
right.
you kind of maybe you can cook her a meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just talk with her a little bit, get lost in her eyes. Then all of a sudden, you make the move. You go for the kiss.
Then I let her rip.
Then you come in your pants.
And then you take off the VR goggles.
But I am seeing a picture, if I can be frank with you, where it seems like your pursuit of sexual endeavors seems very much centered around your needs and desires.
Sure. Yeah.
But I will say it sounds like I said this already, but you know I'm glad to hear that it seems as though have evolved from that and are now trying. So
You care.
keep doing that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've bought like toys and stuff for her, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff for her.
Does she use them?
We have, yeah, together. We do them together.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's a decent start. You ever use one of those fucking giant back massagers, bro, that look like Power Rocket?
I know what you're talking
Dude,
about.
back in the day, I mean, not to get too graphic, but
Go ahead.
that was like all we had, and it was like that thing started up like a semi truck. You know, that thing was
It's
loud.
not for everybody because that thing is
Yeah.
fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Did
for
that
sure.
work on her or no?
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: you could not put it directly on; it would like destroy her.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like a fucking jackhammer, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I remember when I first started like masturbating as like a little like I was like a
Little-
kid. Like I was like
as a little
I
minnow.
was like I remember I was 10 and I had one of those like massager things and I put it on my penis and then there was nothing happening, so it just turned red.
God.
It didn't feel good? Then why'd you do it?
No, it felt good, but it was like, you know, when you're like, I couldn't come back then. So my dick turning red was my version of coming.
Mm.
There was no gas in the tank.
You know,
So look, I hope this call was helpful for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
bro, go romance her, dude.
Yeah.
Let her remind her why she fell in love with you.
Mm,
Absolutely. Thank you,
know what I
guys.
mean?
of course.
Get out there and keep that girl, bro.
Let it rip emotionally, like you
Let
said.
it rip emotionally.
But
That's,
Yeah, because-
that's the motto.
And it's true because maybe sex just isn't that important to her, and
Yeah.
and the closeness is what she likes. So give her that.
Yeah.
Rep a dart.
Go rip a dart, bro.
Go rip it there.
All right,
What is that one from?
that is just a Nelk reference. You know
okay.
Nelk?
I met a guy who has been in all of their like they have all these like taking a virgin to the club videos. And
Nelk
I
does
met
that?
the guy who.
What happens when you bring a virgin to the club?
I haven't seen
He
the
lets
video.
it rip
Apparently.
in his pants. Bryce,
He just left, although I'm
Oh.
sure he'll hear the goodbye. I think
you know
You
what?
have a final thing for Bryce?
No, I think we nailed it. I think we did a
I
good
think
job
so.
with Bryce.
Yeah. That's
He's
a hard.
a young man. He's only 24.
Yeah, well, it's a hard thing to like when there's like insecurity.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard thing. Like, how much can you
Hmm.
help a person you're with? How much can you help their insecurity? Because battling insecurity is such a personal thing. You know, you have
Yeah.
to kind of
It's
face it
the
on your own
worst
a little
too.
bit.
You don't. Whenever you feel insecure in a relationship,
Yeah.
it's the worst. So you definitely want to get on top of
It's
that.
hard because like more validation from other people is not the key to solving your insecurity. So it's like it's tough. You know, you have to do it on your own. But,
Well, that's
you know,
probably a lot of what's going to lead to on the road of cheating or infidelity is that if you're feeling insecure or unfulfilled in some way, emotionally is what's going to cause people to cheat, in my opinion, unless you're just a straight up sex addict, because you're gonna want to fill that emotional hole, and it's going to feel really good for you to do that. until you realize what a mistake.